May I have the permission to open the ceremony, my lord?
Yes, please.
Proceeding is open. Good morning and namaskar. On this pious occasion, I extend my heartily welcome to Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, the Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa. We are fortunate to have the gracious presence of Honorable Justice Jaswant Singh, Honorable Justice Subhashish Darbatra, Honorable Dr. Justice Vidyut Ranjan Chodangi, Honorable Justice Arindam Sinha, Honorable Justice Debabrata Das, Honorable Justice Vishwanath Ratha, Honorable Justice Sangam Kumar Sahu, Honorable Justice Krishna Ram Mahapatra, Honorable Justice Vibhu Prasad Rautrai, Honorable Dr. Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi, Honorable Justice Savitri Ratha, Honorable Justice Mruganga Shekhar Sahu, Honorable Justice Sasikant Mishra, Honorable Justice Aditya Kumar Mahapatra, Honorable Justice V. Narsingh, Honorable Justice Biroja Prasanna Satpathy, Honorable Justice M.S. Raman, Honorable Justice Sanjay Kumar Mishra, Honorable Justice Gauri Shankar Satpathy, and Honorable Justice Chittaranjan Das. I heartily welcome their lordships. I also welcome the esteemed district judges, the judicial officers, the magistrates posted to the courts waiting for inauguration, all other officials involved in the process of inauguration, presidents, secretaries, and other office bearers of the respective bar associations, my colleagues in the registry, the team of CPC. This is an important day in the history of Odisha judiciary, as you have taken another step forward. Today, 25 new cognizance taking courts in 14 districts are going to be inaugurated. The ever-increasing pendency in our district courts had always been a matter of concern for the Honorable High Court. While discussing on this agenda of rationalization of courts in the District Judges Conference this year, Honorable Chief Justice and Honorable Judges, after a threadbare deliberation with the District Judges, took a few decisions. And the decision to rationalize the distribution of cases among the courts of District Judiciary is one of them. As a result, one court each in Khordha, Talcher, Baleshwar, Dhenkanal, Berhampur, Jharsuguda, Kendrapada, Keonjhar, Baripada, and Sundargarh, 2 courts each in Bhadrak, Puri, and Sambalpur, 4 courts in Cuttack, and 5 courts in Bhubaneswar are being conferred with the power of taking cognizance with delineation of the jurisdiction. Now, with this introduction, may I request Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, the Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, to inaugurate the 25 new designated cognizance taking JMFC courts. My Lord, please.
Object.
Oh,
Please.
Thank you, my Lord. May I request Honorable Dr. Justice Vidyut Ranjan Chodangi to kindly deliver his address.
My esteemed Honorable Chief Justice, Dr. S. Muralidhar, and Honorable Judges that are present here in physical mode as well as virtual mode, and the Office of the Registry led by Registrar General, the District Judges of respective courts, and PID officers of the respective courts. Really, it is a very, very auspicious day for us that at a time we are going to open a 25 cognizance taking court in all over the state. And this endeavor is made by Honorable Chief Justice the day he joined here, and all permutation combinations have been made by him. And for 1 year, we are trying to do how to rationalize the things. Meaning that by one court is loaded with pressure of doing work in particular number of cases, whereas other courts have been doing less cases. The statistics have been called from the respective districts, and the Honorable Chief Justice have made all this endeavor on his personally with the able assistance of the registry and mostly the registered administration, so that everything can be set up in a short span of time, and ultimately we achieve the goal. And today I am happy that at least we have got 25 cognizance taking court in all of the state, and we are all present here to encourage all the officers to do the work with utmost sincerity and honesty, dignity, so that the work pressure which is made available to a particular judge now have distributed amongst themselves. Mostly I can say that the people have reposed confidence in the judiciary, and we are surviving because of the faith of the public itself. The reason thereby, I am saying that unless litigants are there, the lawyers will not be there. If the lawyers will not be there, we will not be there. If we will not be there, then the institution will not be there. Therefore, all have got a tremendous contribution for survival of the judiciary. If somebody fails in the legislation and from the side of executive, in that case, he has got tremendous confidence in judiciary to do the cases, and we are there to give their protection. But with utmost remorse, I can say that we are not able to discharge that was the part of duty which are settled on us. The reason thereby, then many of the parts of the state, now the lawyers are taking resort to the strike, but that itself is not feasible and should not be done. You know, the fact that the day the Justice Muralidhar joined here, he has started the arrest and convenience is made to each part of the state to have the deliberation in virtual modes. Therefore, any corner of the state, if any person remains wants to do the cases in the High Court, he can do through virtual mode instead of resorting to method which is not permissible under law. And as such, the Supreme Court has taken a very serious view about the issue. We are not concerned with that. We are not discussing on that question here. Rather, it's my personal view and personal respect to each of the members of the judiciary, meaning thereby the lawyers and judges, that they should work together so that we can achieve the goal. And the cognizance taking course have been formulated because of the fact that at least the burden of the particular judge will reduce so that every person will get the opportunity to do the cases and every judges have got the opportunity to conduct the cases in their own manner and so that the burden of the particular judge will reduce. In that matter, I just request all of you to cooperate with the situation and also do the best of the best thing for the institution so that people's confidence of the court itself remain as it is, and we are the part of the system itself. The part of the system, unless we made strong, we are not there. Therefore, I request all of you to do the work at best with their ability. Thank you all for giving this opportunity to me.
Thank you, my lord. We are obliged for the encouraging words. May I now request Honorable Justice Subhasis Talpatra to kindly address the gathering. Sir.
Honorable Chief Justice and other judges who are present here and over the virtual mode, the judges of the district judiciary who are in this session. I take a sequel from Justice Sharangi that as a matter of process of the rationalization, these courts are being opened to expedite the process. In the Indian justice system, there are various phases in delivering the justice. So where the trial is concerned. And we firmly believe the justice has to be done in every stage, because in every stage there is certain special features to be handled by the court, the process to be taken to the further stage. And in every stage, justice has to be delivered. The word when first I heard that is a cognizance taking court, that I asked myself, these courts are not usually available as an independent court. This is an approach because we have taken that at the level of cognizance taken, that serious bottlenecks has been identified by the High Court under the able leadership of our Chief Justice. And that is one of the ways to sort out this problem, that if the cognizance taken stage, so that the process is not stuck up, and now the process will be speeded up. Opening of the certain avenues to find out an expected result is one thing, but take advantage of the new process that has been introduced is a completely different thing, where we require the dedication, we require the scrutiny, we require also to the what is happening in the next stage. So far, the cognizance taken courts are concerned, they are not about the third feature that I told, but the first two features are very important from them. From the day one, they will take charge of this court. They must keep a statistics that how they are expediting the process by taking the cognizance or the refusing the cognizance. And that way, they can just take the process in a faster mode to the next phase. I hope everybody will appreciate that is a bold new step. There was by the High Court under the leadership of the Chief Justice and to rationalize the pendency and to get it sorted out within our given system. A lot of bottlenecks, constraints are there. We do not have the required number of judges. We do not have the required infrastructure. Everything is there. Within this constraint, how can we improve our performance? That is the challenge when we are inaugurating all these 25 cognizance taking course. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the Chief Justice to giving me the opportunity. And thank you, my all brothers and sister judges. Thank you all.
Thank you, my lord. for the beautiful words of inspiration. May I now request Honorable Justice Jaswant Singh to present his address. Kindly, sir.
Honorable the Chief Justice, my esteemed colleagues, brother and sister judges. Well, again, as you all have pointed out, this is another momentous day in the justice delivery system of this court. Another feather, as the Honorable the Chief Justice CJI had pointed out the other days, that this is raining various measures, incentives, etc., which are contributing to an efficient and effective delivery system of this court. We all know that the pendency of criminal cases, the huge pendency, was always a challenge before the district judiciary, before us. And of course, steps were earlier also taken. Probably they were never adequate. And this is how this unequal distribution of the cases at the initial stage, as pointed out, was a very severe bottleneck in initiating and starting the entire process of criminal trial. Of course, it did not really augur well as a perception to a common complainant and a common man, when right at the threshold, everything got delayed. And so therefore, this idea of rationalization, we are thankful to the Honorable the Chief Justice. I'm told that the idea came to him and he put it forward. And with the cooperation and support of the judges of this court, it was taken up in the district judges conference last year, where a decision was taken to undertake the exercise of this rationalization. And thereafter, it is the cooperation of the district judiciary, which collected the data, gave their suggestion. It required a lot of planning and cooperation, execution, which is now ultimately led into the day-to-day, where we are witnessing the opening of 25 courts in 14 districts. As my brother Judge Sarangi pointed out, this provision has come now. It will be up to, first of all, for the members of the bar, who probably have been lax now because cases were not being taken up as expeditiously right at the stage, for them now to come forward and cooperate, because this is the most important aspect in the perception of a common man, where even a complaint or anything, it can't be taken up at the right at the beginning and as expeditiously. So therefore, the members of the bar should be more alive to the situation and this facility which has been provided to take the real advantage for whatever it is meant. And of course, judicial officer there. We hope they will do their best. And I congratulate everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord, for sharing valuable thoughts. Your guidance would help us achieving our goals, sir. It's now time to listen to the ever-encouraging and invaluable thoughts of our own Honorable Chief Justice. Therefore, may I request our Honorable Chief Justice to kindly deliver the address.
Pranam, a very good morning to everyone. This is a momentous day for the Odisha judiciary. And I'm glad that it is happening in the midst of all of us, my senior colleagues, Justice Jaswant Singh, Justice Talapatra, Justice Sarangi, and all the honorable judges of the High Court present here physically and online. And all the district judges, all the judicial officers in 30 districts watching these proceedings, the members of the bar, members of my registry here in the High Court who've worked tirelessly for this event, including the CPC who's possibly worked overnight just to make sure this proceedings take place online, where simultaneous inauguration of 25 Cognizance taking courts in 14 districts is made possible. And all the officers and staff in the district judiciary who've all worked very hard to make sure that they've perfectly timed the inaugural. They're all present at all the stations of the 14 districts. This is not an achievement. I've been saying this even during the COVID-19 times, when most of our events took place online. We realized how convenient it was because of technology to have simultaneous inauguration of courts in different locations in Odisha. We've now streamlined it to perfection, as I can proudly say, thanks to the combined efforts of our technical teams, not only in the High Court, but in the district courts as well. And once again, kudos to all of you who've made this possible. The genesis of today's event is the District Judges Conference, which took place in February this year. I must say that in February next year, we're going to have another District Judges Conference. But the one that took place in 2022 was after a gap of almost a decade. And I was told by my colleagues that the format that we devised for that District Judges Conference was different from the format for the earlier years. That format was first to invite suggestions from the officers themselves about what they would like to discuss. We invariably seem to overlook the experience of judicial officers on the ground on their day-to-day problems. And so we decided that they will tell us what they would like to discuss. And among the topics, many of them said, among the topics that was identified by them was this rationalization of cases. Many of them felt that the uneven distribution of cases amongst judicial officers was slowing down the system. And this was something that we had to pay attention to. So there were two ways of approaching it. One, in the existing strength of the judges, how best can we redistribute cases? The other, despite such redistribution of cases, there must still be an excess load on individual judges, for which we will have to create additional posts. So this is a two-step process that we've adopted. First, just identifying how best to redistribute cases among the existing judicial officers. And as was pointed out by my senior colleagues, that itself has taken us more than 8 months to achieve. Just collating the statistics, it is a back and forth process. We make a suggestion, we send it to the district judges, they come back with their suggestions. And it has it has culminated is in today's event, where we've somewhat rationalized the process of distribution of cases. I wouldn't say it is a perfect distribution, but it is the best we could do given the existing strength of the judges. But we have also written to the state government to create several more courts, almost 16 courts, including at the levels of the additional district judge, at the level of a senior civil judge, at the levels of the JMFC. We've approached the state government to create those additional courts, and that will probably happen in the next few months. Then we would have a better distribution of cases and make it easier for the litigant and for the lawyers, of course, for the judges. When we talk of judicial reforms, the criminal justice system is perhaps the weakest link in our system because it is an overburdened system. And it is where the poorest of the populations come into contact with the judiciary. At least 80 to 85% of the litigant population in the criminal justice system is below the poverty line or belonging to the economically weaker section. Today's measure, I would view as a litigant-centric, a citizen-centric measure, because they have a lot of expectation from the courts. They expect their problems to be resolved in a reasonable time. They expect the waiting time to be reduced. And so do lawyers, so does the prosecution, the state, the police agencies, and of course the lawyers themselves. And not only the litigants, you have complainants, you have victims, you have witnesses, all of them waiting because they have all to participate in a case which has started with the filing or registering of an FIR and for it to reach its logical conclusion. So the waiting time for each of these participants in our criminal justice system has to get reduced if our system has to become more efficient. Increasingly, we are having grave crimes increase. The graph of these increase in grave crimes is showing us that there's going to be a greater pressure on judges, on lawyers, on the system as a whole. And we have to respond in good measure and in a very timely fashion. These are measures which could not have got delayed any further. And I'm very glad to say that all the district judges, all the subordinate judicial officers have worked with a spirit of cooperation in giving their suggestions, in suggesting to us how best to rationalize the cases. I must compliment my own team of the Registrar General, the Registrar Vigilance, the Registrar Administration, and a whole set of judicial officers. Even in this registry, they work in a team of, in a cooperation, team spirit. The registrars don't say this is my area and that is your area and I don't interfere in what you have to do. They all work together. And that is what has seen us roll out many of these measures. It has been made possible because of the complete commitment, dedication, and cooperation of all the judicial officers in the registry here, as well as in the districts. But therefore, today, I think you can all give yourselves a pat in the back that what you have done today and what has made possible in the Odisha judiciary is a result of a collective effort of everyone. I would second what Justice Jaswant Singh said, Justice Sarangi said, and Justice Talapatra said. There is now a greater responsibility on the judicial officers who are going to be presiding over these courts. There's going to be a greater expectation. In the Odisha judiciary, in the last 2 years, I've been always emphasizing that we want to be a judiciary that's accountable to the people. We are answerable to the people. We work together, the lawyers and judges collectively work together to deliver justice. So that expectation is going to increase now with the creation of these additional cognizance taking courts. And we must make sure these courts work to their full potential. They're able to deliver justice. They're able to reduce the waiting time for the litigants. And as Justice Sarangi was pointing out, for that to happen, cooperation is most essential, and that too from the lawyers. If the lawyers do not participate in full measure and keep these courts busy from morning to night, which is what they're supposed to be doing, then we will not achieve the results that we intend to achieve with the creation of these new courts. So it is the expectation that this is a measure that is beneficial to everyone. It's beneficial basically to the litigant, but beneficial to the system, to the society as a whole. In a crime-ridden society where there are cases in court, where the criminal justice system is supposed to deliver, the society as a whole expects us to perform better, to be more accountable to them. And this is that kind of a measure, which is citizen-centric and litigant-focused measure. So I'm sure our judicial officers will not be found wanting. They'll give off their best. They'll make sure these courts work to their full measure and deliver justice. I also extend my hope that the lawyers will participate in full measure. Many facilities have been provided now in the district courts, which were not there earlier. Today, as Justice Sarangi was saying, you can participate from anywhere in any court if you so desire. You can file cases. You have e-filing stations in almost every district. You have virtual courts. You have vulnerable witness courtrooms. You have various kinds of ways in which you can make it easy to participate in cases and accelerate the process of justice delivery. In the District Judiciary's Judges Conference in February this year, 3 major measures were thought of. One was, of course, rationalization of cases, which you see today bearing fruit. The other was we'd asked district judges to volunteer to become paperless courts. And in September this year, we had the Chief Justice of India come here to inaugurate 34 paperless courts in 30 districts. I'm very happy to say that we're carrying this forward. Very soon, it's going to be possible to have paperless courts in many, many more courts in Orissa. And this is again going to be a major step in the progress of reforms in the Odisha judiciary. Third, we'd asked judges to volunteer to accelerate the process of trial itself. We had asked, can they conclude a rape trial within 6 months as is envisaged in the statute? Many of them volunteered. And I'm happy to say that reasonably satisfactory results have been achieved even in that. And by the end of this year, I'll be happy to report the progress we've made in that. So we have all the judicial officers on board in all these reforms, and happy to say that it is with the spirit of cooperation, with the close supervision of our judges of the High Court. Never before have we seen such direct involvement, hands-on involvement by individual judges of the High Court. They've all visited the districts. They've all interacted with district judges. They continue to interact. They've all worked in a spirit of complete dedication and devotion. And I'm indeed very fortunate to be presiding over this kind of enthusiasm for reform that everyone has displayed, particularly my colleagues in the High Court and the district judges and the subordinate judicial officials. I keep saying, and I repeat, that the Odisha judiciary has the potential of becoming the best in the country. It is well on its way to becoming the best in the country. It has received accolades from many of the visiting judges of other high courts, including the Chief Justice of India and other judges of Supreme Court. I am sure this is the way to go forward. I have my expectation is a very bright future for the Odisha judiciary as a whole, for the Odisha lawyers as a whole, for the Odisha litigant public as a whole. And that is our mission and our commitment to the people of Odisha. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thanks to each of my colleagues for making this event a wonderful event, a memorable one. And I wish success to each and every one. Jai.
Thank you, Lordship. We are grateful for the beautiful words, my Lord. You have always been a source of inspiration for us. Now, I hand over the proceeding to my colleague, Register of Vigilance, Sri Akhil Kumar Paschimakabat, to propose the vote of thanks and to seek permission to close the proceeding. Mr. Kabat.
Namaskar. This is another moment of satisfaction and happiness for us. With a view to rationalize the distribution of cases among the courts, 25 new cognizance taking courts have been opened simultaneously in 14 districts of the state by implementing the decision taken in the district conference held this year. This has been possible due to the vision of Honorable Chief Justice Dr. S. Muralidhar. We are immensely grateful to His Lordship, under whose leadership the state judiciary has undergone a radical transformation. His Lordship has been the source of inspiration for us. We express gratitude to Honorable Justice Jaswant Singh, Honorable Justice Subhasis Talpatra, Honorable Dr. Justice Vidut Ranjan Sadangi for having spared their valuable time and spoken on the occasion. We express gratitude to Honorable Justice Arindam Sinha, Honorable Justice Devarat Das, Honorable Justice Vishwanath Ratha, Honorable Justice Sangam Kumar Sahu, Honorable Justice Krishnaram Mahapatra, Honorable Dr. Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi, Honorable Justice Savitri Ratha, Honorable Justice Muganka Shekhar Sahu, Honorable Justice Sasikanta Mishra, Honorable Justice Aditya Kumar Mahapatra, Honorable Justice B. Narsingh, Honorable Justice Viraja Prasan Satpathy, Honorable Justice M.S. Raman, Honorable Justice Sanjay Kumar Mishra, Honorable Justice Gauri Shankar Satpathy, and Honorable Justice Chittaranjan Das. In spite of their lordships' busy schedule, their lordships have made it convenient to attend today's function. Their lordships' kind presence has encouraged us and made this event special. Honorable judges who could not remain present have conveyed their best wishes for the function. We are grateful to their lordship. We are grateful to the 11 district judges, judicial officers of the state for having present on this occasion through virtual mode. We are also grateful to the presidents, secretary, office bearers, and members of the various bar associations for attending this event. We thank the officer of the local administration of the 14 districts for their support. We are also thankful to the CPC and the technical team for having made today's function possible by their technical support. We thank the staff and all others who have contributed for today's function. We also thank the media personnel who have always propagated our message to the public. May I now seek the permission of the chair to declare the function closed?
Yes, please.
The function is declared closed.